And so please help me welcome Consul General Manu Virtamo, who is from New York and serving there, and now has become our freshest Finlandia University alumnus. Welcome.
Thank you. This was really an unexpected honor. I was honored enough to having this opportunity to give the commencement speech, but this was really something I didn't expect. So I really thank you, Professor Johnson, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty. I really thank you for this great honor. And well, ladies and gentlemen, dear alumni, dear graduates especially, it's really a great joy for me and my wife to share this very special day with you and your families and friends. Graduations are one of my favorite celebrations. It makes me always happy to see young people who have worked so hard and have now achieved one of the most important goals of their life. And it's always great to meet young people who with confidence and with open eyes and minds are eager to see what the future will bring. On a personal note, in about 1 year's time, I myself will be sitting among the audience as a father watching our youngest son graduate. My sons have studied at universities in Finland, the United Kingdom, and now in the United States. As I was quoted on the Finlandia University website, following their endeavors and aspirations reminds me of my time as a student in the 1970s. They were good times that opened my path to diplomacy and gave me an opportunity to work and live in France, Sweden, Japan, and the United States. My alma mater was the Helsinki University and its Department of Political and Economic Studies. My main discipline was political history, and I wrote my master's thesis on Finland's rocky path to the membership of the United Nations in 1955. My other disciplines were political science, media and communication studies, and international law. Studying in the 70s must have been very different from studying today. I could complete my studies while working full-time already after my sophomore year as the Secretary for International Affairs and Information of the Helsinki University Student Union. That would be much more difficult now, because studying today is so demanding that it's simply not possible to combine studies and full-time work, at least not if you want to graduate in 3 or 4 years' time only. During my studies, I also began to think about my future career more seriously. I started building a study module and gather work experience that would help me reach my new goal, to enter the Foreign Service of Finland. But that wasn't my first big dream. Throughout the high school years, I had been dreaming of something totally different. I wanted to become an industrial designer or interior decorator, but I failed the art school entrance just this much, and I had to let go of my dream. But dear graduates, this is such an important and memorable day for you. You have a long journey behind you, all those years starting from kindergarten through elementary, middle and high school, and finally through the college and university. You have needed a lot of sisu. That's the thing Matthew was already referring to, and I know that you all are very familiar with this Finnish word, which is sometimes a bit difficult to translate, but means something like determination or perseverance you need in order to survive and to get through even the most challenging times. Today, you and your family can be so proud of you. This is ultimately a happy day, though you may feel a little sadness as you say goodbye to teachers who have steered you through these years, as well as to the fellow students and friends who have stood by your side. This year will be one of the most memorable for you, but it's very important to all us Finns as well, because this is the year of the centennial of Finland's independence. There are many different ways of telling about Finland, and this is one of my favorites, Finland in a nutshell. 5.5 million people, 3.2 million saunas, half a million summer homes, because all Finns want to get back to the woods when the summer finally comes, a lake for every 29 Finns. A lake for every 29 Finns. It's really true, because if we count all the small ones, we have the latest official number is 187,888 lakes. Well, you have a big one here nearby, and if we combine all of ours, they are just a very, very tiny minority as compared to Lake Superior. But we love all those of ours. But more seriously, the centennial gives us an opportunity to reflect on what our independence means to us today. We can search for answers from the past, present, and even from the future. But it's impossible to understand the story of Finland without looking back in history. For more than 600 years, Finland was an integral part of Sweden. The importance of this heritage cannot be overstated. In 1809, Finland became an autonomous entity, a grand duchy with the Russian Empire. And this may sound like a setback, but the far-reaching autonomy meant that Finland was governed by Finns in our own language along with Swedish. Our own democratic, or at least pre-democratic institutions were already in place, first in the form of the so-called Diet and later the Parliament. We even had our own currency, the Finnish markka, almost 60 years before we gained our independence. Well, a bit more than 15 years, of course, we lost the markka and started using the euros, but that's another story. In 1906, Finland became the first country in the world to grant full political rights to both men and women. The first open and free elections were held in 1907, and 19 out of the 200 members elected were women. And women's position in Finland has remained strong ever since, even in the political life. Finally, in the midst of the First World War, on December 6, 1917, Finland declared herself an independent state. Gaining and retaining our independence was not easy. The young nation survived the civil war, and 2 decades later the winter and continuation wars. Again, Finland had to rebuild and reinvent herself. We owe a lot to those men and women who stood against a much stronger enemy and defended our country through the difficult war years. The path of Finland from one of the poorest countries in Europe in the 1950s to one of the wealthiest nations in the world today meant a lot of hard work and many tough decisions. The country decided to focus on its best resource, the people. This investment in people shows in the fact that now, year after year, Finland tops various rankings that measure how well a society functions. According to recent international surveys and indexes, Finland has ranked either number 1 or among the top 5 countries in numerous different areas: general safety, happiness of people, general quality of life, freedom of press, innovativeness, gender equality, well-being of children and mothers, social justice, environmental sustainability. But the picture would not be complete without saying that in Finland, world-class healthcare and education are available for all. and practically for free. In education, Finland ranks at the top within the OECD countries and is the most literate country in the world. And all this makes Finland a great place to live, visit, and to do business. Dear graduates, learning is a lifelong journey. Now you have reached one of the most important milestones on that journey. Today it's really time for celebration. And my wife and I want to congratulate you all and wish you all the best when you now start a new chapter in your lives. In a way, one era is now over. You will step out from the safe haven of school to the wide world. In many ways you will be on your own. But be sure that after all these years of education, you will be strong enough to meet the challenges. At times you may have to change the direction, let go of your dreams, but there is always something else to turn into. There's always another chance. After failing the art school exam more than 40 years ago, I had to find my own second chance, and I did. And I'm sure you will find yours as well if you have to. To conclude, I just want to thank especially Professor Philip Johnson, the president of this Finlandia University, for giving us this very special opportunity to visit Michigan's Upper Peninsula, an area with such strong ties to Finland. What would be a better way of honoring and keeping alive the Finnish heritage in this area than having an academic institution that carries Finland's name, has strong ties to the modern Finland as well. Dear graduates, once again, my warmest congratulations. It was really great to share this day with you. I already also got my graduation here today. Thank you very much.